Today, in this video, we'll be going to look upon a walkthrough on VulnNet.py, a wonderful vulnerable machine on TryhackMe.com created by the Cyberwolf. During the exploitation, we'll be looking on different parts through web and Linux vulnerabilities, and we'll be exploiting them. So without much wasting time, let's get on to it. As a prerequisite, I have already deployed the machine and connected to my VPN, connected to THM VPN. Let's read about some information given on the box. Yes, VulnNet entertainment is back and now security focused. Okay, this is all they have written about the box or the previous box they have all done. Let's see what we have. Web language, which is given Python, and it's one important thing to know and would be a best part to help throughout our exploitation part. So let's go. For our initial enumeration information gathering, let's fire up Nmap and see what ports are open. Here Nmap -v for verbose, SV for service versions, SC for default scripts, and let me copy the IP address from there. There's the IP address, and we are outputting all formats and the file called Nmap. I hope it don't take much time. Oh, that's great. We have port 8080 open. That might be something like a web hosted over 8080. Let's check out what we have on 80. It seems to be a web hosted over 8080. And let's wait for what Nmap returns back. Till then, let's check it what we have. As predicted, we are here with a login page. Let's see what it is. Is it a HTML page or a PHP page? Let's look upon view page sources. Can we find something important over here? It does not seems like we could get something important here. Nothing interesting. It is all some JavaScript. It is all some script, CSS, and HTML. Nothing important. Let's see if we can do something with forgot password. No. It only redirects login page, which is of no use. As of now, we don't have any credentials. Let's check what Nmap has returned with. Okay, here Nmap has returned with the Python web server and another anything important as well. No other ports as well. We are just returned with a login page. Nothing important. This is the title, discover. Okay. Just for sake of more enumeration and to get more information if we might be missing something, let's go do a full scan. And for this, let's add -p-, which says we are going to scan for all 65,535 ports. And there it goes. What else we can do over here? There is nothing much we can do. We can log in into page. Let's check if we have some hidden directories like robots.txt or something. Robots.txt, do we have that? No. It says 403 we need to authenticate. That means we need to log in. Let's get see how creating account works. Yeah, it redirects to some page. Here it is. Let's give Debian hat. Let's give Debian hat VulnNet.thm. Password anything. Oh, I missed. There's a typo. Yeah, there we go. It says user created. Please log in. Here we have Debian hat and anything. Okay, boom. We are here. We are logged in. Now it seems to be somewhat like showing some statistics of something. Total revenue, transactions, website audience metrics. It's showing some kind of data. What data it is actually? Don't know. But it is showing some kind of data, market overview, total revenues, transactions and all. So here, let's try if we can do something and try to get shell on the box or try to exploit it. Here it doesn't seems anything over here new. It does not redirect to anything. Doesn't work either. Advanced options doesn't work. Exports, that is also like no work. It's not working either. Do we have anything else we can check out over here? No. Do we have anything over dashboard, or let's see if we have any kind of pages, blank page, their content here. Either it has nothing to do with. Okay, internal server error page 500 HTML. Nothing here as well either. Not this one is redirecting to anything. There is this one thing we can see, log out Debian hat. Okay, here's we can see the username we had. Okay, so it might be something we can do with XSS, or we could have SSTI, sorry. Let's check for if there is any hidden page or something right over back behind the web. Robots.txt. Okay, it says 403 request has been blocked. Okay, it seems like it is blocking some or the other characters. Let's see. Let's try out something without a dot. Let's see a test page. Okay, it's fine. Okay, here is something interesting we can see. No results for test. Okay, basically what it is doing, whatever the input we are giving in the get request, and it is implementing or adding, or we can directly say injecting it into the page. So we can try to look for SSTI, server side template injection. We can look for that, and it smells like it is having a server side template injection. Let's see if it exists. Now there are plenty of backend servers, or we can say servers working on templates or processing templates. So we have different styles to look upon. We have different syntax. So let's check with this one first. If we get something or we get processed with the query, let's try. Okay, it just simply resulted in what I gave. If it would have processed it, then there would have been then we would have been sure that the vulnerability exists. But there is one thing to note. We knew It's a Python server. So Python, and if it is a Python server, it uses Jinja. Jinja. Alright. Seems to be like, when it you hear it first, it seems like, hey, what is it? But yeah, Jinja template, it's like what server Python server works with. This is called, this we call as Jinja programming or something. Now let's see if we like try to exploit it this way, if it works. Yes, amazing. It results with a result of 4 plus 3. Now let's check if it results with 4 minus 3. Yet yes, there it is. If it gives with 4 multiplied by 3, okay, we are getting the result. Then now we are sure we have SSTI, server side template injection. Basically we are injecting our inputs into the template, and we are executing it on the server side rather than on the front end side. So let's see how we can exploit it more further to get RCE or shell on the box. Somehow it smells like some of the inputs are like being blocked, seems like. So let's see how we can exploit this. So let's try to explore how we can exploit it. Python SSTI exploitation. What it returns first is a medium block. Now we have something, a cheat sheet onto this. Let's see. Let's see this one either, though I have visited it earlier, but let's see what it says. Loading, and it's done. It's loaded. Okay, the reconnaissance part says as what we have done. Like we have checked to like process some mathematical equations, though it was doing that. So now we are sure that there is SSTI. Now the next thing is how we can exploit it. Let's go through this documentation and try to read what we can do. This is arbitrary file read, how we can read files over the box on the server. If there is any file on the server, how we can read that. This is the part on the this is the part where it's is remote code execution, RCE, how we can get the shell on the box. This is one way, this is another. Get the shell sub process and okay. Okay, we have all these ways we can get shell onto the box. Let's try any one of them, but before that let's check if there is any blocking, like is there any blacklist to block our inputs. If there is, then we'll have to like move forward in the same manner. Let's see, suppose if this works. And it says bad request, it has been blocked, invalid characters detected. Okay, so we have some kinds of characters being blocked. So what we can do, we can try different kinds of encryptions and encodings. Basically encodings like URL encode, hex encode. So in this one, let's try to hex encode the payload and work with that. There's this notes file I've already created and will be working for the video to be not so long and boring. I guess it's not going so as of now. This is the same payload that we were talking about earlier, and this is the same payload will be that I have hex encoded it, and will be hex encoding the reverse shell as well. Okay, this is my reverse shell. I'll be using the bash reverse shell and will hex encode it. Cyberchef. Cyberchef is one good tool or one best friend when it comes to encodings, either to decode it or encode it. As they say it, the Cyberchef is the Swiss Army knife. And to hex we have to do, it will be converting our data to hex and remove these spaces. And here it is, hex with space delimiter. No, delimiter has to be this one, and copy it, paste it here at the point like where it is, payload. Yeah, paste it over here. This is our this is going to be the payload which we'll be using to get the shell on the box. Before that, let's so Nmap has not yet returned anything, it's still scanning. Let's try. Let's get and fire up our netcat listener. So let's fire up netcat listener so that we can get the reverse shell back. nc minus lvp 9009, the port I have used, and okay, in the payload. Copy this and take the request on burp so that it would be handy for us to work with. Because at times what happens is Firefox is URL encode our inputs, and which might temper the payload. So not taking that risk, let's take the request on burp suit and then process it. Okay, here we have finally fired up our burp suite after long much waited, and intercept is on. I'm using Firefox proxy to take my request on burp, and here it goes to burp. No, I don't want to update it as of now. Okay, here is the request. Okay, take it to repeater. Request went to repeater, and just close this so that it does not temper me again and again. So here we are, and let's just paste the payload we have created and see what happens. Do we get the shell or not? Okay, the request has been sent and we have not yet received any response over here. That means like we have got the shell. Let's check. So where is it? Yeah, there we are. We are with the shell. Okay, now let's get this stable shell python 3 -c import pty dot spawn pty dot spawn and /bin bash. There we go. Oh, there we have a stable shell. Let's export the term to xterm. Export term to xterm so that we can do this basically. And now let's check out what is here in this directory. Okay, nothing interesting as of now. Run.py. These seems to be like all web files. Go to home directory. What do we have in a home directory? We have these all files, some kind of files. Let's check what we have on desktop. Do we have something interesting over here, like kind of user flag or something? And no. Okay, let's check what are the users over here. Let's see these to home directory, change directory to home directory, and we have, okay, we have 3 users: web, which we are in right now. The other one is system admin and manage. Okay, system admin and manage. So before we go for some automated scripts like linpiece or anything, any other script, let's check what we can do on our manual exploitation. There's one thing: when we start our manual exploitation, we start it with something. If this user has permissions to uh, any of the privileged users files, or to run any privileged processes. Okay, let's check, though we don't have the password, but let's do it. Okay, boom, here we have this pip3 install. So here we can install something, anything in a folder or anywhere using pip3 install with the system admin user, with the privileged user, which is a more privileged user. So what we are going to do, we are going to change directory to temp, creating a directory test, cd test, and in this test directory we'll be creating a Python file, okay, and trying to install that. What that file will do is we'll get a reverse shell on the box through the system admin user. Let's try doing that. I'll have to open one more netcat listener, which is in some LVP. Let's have it on 9008. We had the earlier one on 9009. What I will do, I have already created a payload, a reverse shell, Python reverse shell. I'll just copy this to the box and will use to exploit that. Let me show you the payload that I have already created. This one is the payload that I have already created, and will be using it to get the shell on the box with privileged user. Let's check this. Okay, we have set port to 9008, IP great, that's my IP, and let's go. This is in what? This is in this directory I have. No. This one is in the directory I created earlier. cd text thm.py. Right, the directory I created earlier. Here it is. Setup.py. So I'll be hosting a simple Python server, python -m http server on port 8000. Oh, it's up and running. Let's download this over here in this box. wget http my IP 9.32.203.8000 and setup.py. Okay, we have it here. Let's clear this. We have netcat up and running. We have already a listener on. Let's see. Let's exploit it. Sudo -u system admin /user bin /pip3 install. Okay, there it goes, and we can see the shell here. Here it is. I'm on the box. as the user sysadmin, system admin. Here we can see, boom, clear. CD to home directory ls, we have the user flag here. We can just cat txt and get this. Boom, we are with the flag, and we can copy and paste it to the website. Here, let's check if we have done it all right. Okay, that's great. Correct. Though we have done with so now we are done with first user, the basic user. We are done with one user. Now turn comes up to how we can get onto root, how we can get the root access. Again, before running any automated scripts, let's check what we can do on our own, and let's again check sudo -l. Though we don't have any passwords, it always does not necessarily need password to run sudo -l. Okay, great. So we have opt backup, a backup file in opt directory. Let's see what this file is doing. I'll use cat though. Cat /opt/ backup.py. Okay, zip file everywhere. It seems like it is working on some zip file or importing some zip file. Let's see, let's try to read it from date and time, import date and time, from pathlib import path. It is importing date and time path, and this thing, it is importing zip file. Okay, object to backup directory. It is backing up where backups, home, manage, location. So it is doing some kind of backup and importing zip file. Okay, let's clear. Let's one more time do sudo -l, set environment path. Okay, what we can do here is, this vulnerability is called path hijacking. So what we'll be doing, we'll be setting the environment path to some different path, some other path, and we'll be executing or importing that zip file, import zip file, and that will give us the root shell. Let's do that. Let me show you how we are going to do that, or how we'll do that. Let's move on to that. For that as well, I have created my own file already, so that we don't waste much time over here. What we are going to do, we are going to write this simple bash shell file. We'll be simply importing the bash through root and writing it to a zip file, which is to be imported. What we can do it in temp directory, cd/temp. We can create the file over here, zip file. Okay, ls-la, we can see we have our file here. Okay, so let's clear this, and sudo python path is equals to /tmp. Now run this user bin python. Oh, I forgot the Python version, or the Python it was using. Let's do it again. Sudo -l. Though it was Python 3. I was trying to do Python only. Let's do it sudo python path is equals to, and then we have changed it to temp directory. That is basically we are hijacking that path, the actual path. We are changing it to temp directory, from where it will be importing files. So we have changed that path. Now Let's run this file. User bin python 3 and opt backup.py. Let's run. And here we are root now. Root, so what we can do, cd directories to home directory of the root, and here we have root.txt. Let's just copy it and submit it to thm. Successfully complete the box, and submitting it to thm successfully completed the box. Oh, congratulations. That's all for this box. That's all for today. Thank you, and thanks for watching.